Ladies, Coach Jerry here. Welcome to this video. Today we're talking about perimenopause and menopause. We did a masterclass in the past about it, so if you actually wanted to access to the masterclass and the guide, which I did in the past, all you really have to do is comment menopause. I'm gonna give you an hint of what to do. You'll go through, you'll get the guide, you can consume the guide, and then all you really need to do to access the free masterclass is basically booking a call with me to go deep into what's going on into your menopause or perimenopause. It's crazy enough, but a lot of ladies they don't or they can't even um, necessarily realize the difference, or better say they don't understand in which stage are they in of perimenopause and menopause, because it's more often than not we see people that they think they're supposed to be in menopause and then they end up getting a period at 55 years old. Well, actually, I think we had a case around that age as well. Yeah. So, with this being said, this is why I'd ask you if you want access um, to that specific masterclass, to actually book a call. When you book a call, you'll get redirected to the replay and you can actually see the replay. And the call is not necessarily to get anything, it's just to have a chat and see, what is the real issue you're experiencing right now? In which stage are you in? Are you in perimenopause? Are you in menopause? Are you in postmenopause? How is this impacting your life? Because what we're going to talk about today is I'll try to give you, 5 things to do, but you'll see that despite me going into depth with this, it's still gonna be different for you. A lot of ladies thinks that menopause is almost like a condition, right? Rather, it's a stage of life, right? It's a season of life, much like puberty is a season of life. Nobody, when they grow up or when you grow up, you didn't probably say you reach in your puberty is like, oh, this is a disease, but you get acne, you get issues, you get sweaty, you might have some nights that you can't even sleep. So, menopause is the same thing. So, uh, does this make weight loss and body composition harder to reach? Absolutely. It's usually over 40. And this is why we need to go deep into your specific situation. Okay. My objective is to actually fix, and I want this to be clear. Whenever we jump on the phone, it doesn't mean like you have to come inside any of our program. In fact, I'd probably be the one telling you the program is for you or is not for you, or I can't help you, because I got to a stage that I really rather work with few amount of people that I can actually help rather than get a bunch of people then end up not being a proper fit. So what I wanted to do right now is basically grab some pen and paper. We'll go into specifically what is it that you should do if you experience menopause or perimenopause. I'll try to give you specific about it, and also things that you can do one after another, meaning like like this is kind of almost like the order of importance as well. So the first thing you should do is really balance your blood sugar. Okay, blood sugar readings are important. You should get one of these here, right? And I said it in one reel. If you want to understand if your metabolism is efficient or not, one thing you should be doing is grab one of these, start getting a proper reading on the morning when you wake up, right? And see if you have some watt of an insulin resistant, much like I have. And mine is due to stress and poor sleep. And therefore, I wake up and sometimes I'm 5.5 or 6 already, right? So it's insulin resistant. So for me, whether I eat carb the day before or not, that would happen, okay? The probably the best is also it has a name is Down syndrome, but Down phenomenon actually, not syndrome. But um, again, the only way that I could fix this is probably by fasting the day before, and or maybe like fasting in the evening. But again, this is not really important. What is important is that whenever you get your blood sugar reading and you take it, let's say you have 4.5 before eating, when you're eating exactly 120 minutes, and you want to put in on your iPhone here, you want to put a timer, because otherwise you'll forget and you put the timer, and then you take the reading again. If you ate, no matter what you ate, obviously not crap, but if you ate and you back to 4.5, where when you started with 4.5, your metabolism is efficient on burning fat, on burning sugar, on burning fat. And it's basically very flexible. If you don't, then the first thing you should actually do is actually establish that you have a problem with blood sugar, and then, talk to me, or, comment down below, whatever the case is, or find a way to actually balance your blood sugar. Because if you don't balance your blood sugar, chances are the next step is going to be harder to do, right? And the next step, of course, is improve your sleep. Okay, focus on your sleep. Okay, this is actually interchangeable, right? Focus on your sleep. Do everything that you can. Don't take any caffeine during the day. Take magnesium to calm you down in the evening. Okay, shut down the screen at least a couple of hours before the evening, or put the light on the iPhone, which is like specifically for evening, or if you work until late, the same on your computer. Do box breathing. Okay, box breathing is like, there are several ways. You can Google box breathing, and you just do one version of box breathing to relax you. Okay, to meditate, to relax you before you sleep. Try to put your body in a parasympathetic state. Okay, this is important. Okay, and you'll see that this happens much easier and faster when your blood sugar is regulated. Okay, then the third thing is actually manage the stress. One more time, if you do not sleep, you'll be very hungry, you'll be stressed, the energy is low, and everything comes together. So you want to be focusing on your sex hormones and cortisol. Okay, cortisol and sex hormone. Again, one more time, meditation, breathing. You want to be, and again, this is, I can not emphasize this enough. If you working out with cardio, heat training, classes, whatever, cut those off for a few weeks and test. Okay, if you have a cardio polar H10, then you can take the stress test. If you want to comment down below stress test, and I'll tag you on the stress test that you can take to see if you're stressed. I'll take care of that completely for you, or for free, to assess your stress test if you can take it. Okay, if you're inside my program, if you are high level coaching inside a program, then I'll provide this for you. And then of course you want to be eating fueling your hormones. Okay, so a lot of fiber, a lot of protein, a lot of vegetable. Okay, detox your estrogen, omega-3. This is the time that you can put vitamins, zinc, B12, like all these things that help, those kind of like the superfoods. This is kind of like the time you want to be doing that with a lot of water. Okay, and remember also sodium. Okay, from the sea salt. You want to be putting, if you are eating 2000 calories, you want to be putting 2 grams throughout the day on your food. Okay, it's important. A lot of people think that sodium is bad. Sodium and potassium is they're very important. Okay, one more time, for me to be able to direct you better, we need to know your case. I cannot just say, okay, take this many supplements, take this much, take this other much. No, it needs to be like, we need to kind of figure out where you stand. If you're not deficient of vitamin D, chances are you don't need to take it. If everybody's, it will be different. Okay, so we went through the blood sugars. We went to the balanced blood sugar, the sleep and the stress, the nourishment of the hormones. Okay, so also focused on, again, hydration and high volume foods. Okay, if you want to get some recipes, some good recipe that tastes not like a diet, or better say, like, if you want to get recipe that taste like, look like cheat meals, and still gonna provide you a much lower calorie content for whatever they are, like a pizza that, instead of being 2000 calories, like 700 calorie, then you go to the guides up there, and you'll be able to find that recipe, which I've been, it's been there for a while. And the last one, which is really important, is the strength training component. Like I said, this is probably the best way to progress. Okay, you need 2-3 strength training, about 35 to 40 minutes at the most, and you need to be able to. This is to improve bone health. To get better calorie partitioning, to create muscle, to improve mood, to get higher whatever testosterone a lady can have, And again, those are important because at this stage, this is probably the most important workout. And again, it needs to be progressive, okay? Progressive overload. If you want, to learn more about it, comment down below metabolic advantage, and I'll send you over, what the course that we have that actually teaches you all the stages of metabolic advantage, including this one is very important. Hopefully this was straight to the point and clear. And I would start with this, just do everything correctly, like one after another. And whatever, like you get stopped or the first thing that actually stops you, get in touch with me because, we only can unfold those things first so that you can actually get results. Coach Jerry here. I talk to you soon. Bye bye.